Wildest.
Hello.
Hello, everybody. How's it going?
I'm not answering this time.
Yeah, I'm pausing for their response. Today's episode, we're doing World's Cleanest. That
Very
was
clean.
a viewer suggestion, and I always forget to pull up whose it was.
I first thought it was not going to be a good one, but I really like it now.
It's pretty interesting.
It is really interesting.
Yeah, I had a fun time researching this week. Between the two of us, Connor is more clean. For sure.
Yeah, sure.
I consider myself to be a messy person. I don't consider myself to be a gross person.
Okay.
But I'm a messy person. Like, I don't mind having stuff scattered around. I don't mind a little mess here and there.
When we're doing construction or like things are being reorganized, it is nice not having your boss bear down and you be like, get this cleaned up.
Yeah, I do not care.
But I will say, maybe it's through me pressuring you, cleaning up your desk every so often.
If you are about to take credit for my desk looking the way that it does, I will leave.
No, I'm not saying that, because if I was going to take credit, I wouldn't take credit for it, because it's okay.
That's crazy.
It's gotten better. But
it's gotten better is crazy.
I've known you. Yeah, you've gotten pretty clean.
Since I'm sorry. Please be more specific.
Since I started working at Alveus, from now, I think I have rubbed off on you a little bit.
Oh my God.
Just a little bit.
I have to restart this. Oh, the girls and the gays are puking right now.
How so?
That is not because of you. You have not made me more clean.
At Alveus? No?
What was I like at Alveus before?
I mean, other than placing your water bottle on my desk and knocking it over from time to time with your chair, and then like...
Oh, not the water spillage. Someone called
biohazard we gotta cut committee. This. I'm gonna make myself look... It's not bad. It's doable. I would just organize things from time to time. I would remove things that would need to be recycled or thrown away from time to time. But I haven't done that in like a year.
I'm so sorry you've had to take care of me for all of these years.
Okay, God. Okay, we gotta cut this. Can we start over?
No, we can't start over. Connor is more clean than I am, but I just
not
don't.
By much.
Not by much. Like I don't mind a little mess. I don't mind a little clutter.
But I crash out.
Connor does crash out
if
things aren't like organized, and then it hits him one day.
It does.
And then he loses his mind.
I do. And then I drink a Red Bull and you just don't talk to me for the next 2 or 3 hours while I clean.
Yeah.
But we have systems now.
Yeah.
And it's really nice. And at the house, I've got robots to help me keep things clean. Oh my God. It is life-changing. Now we have 5 cats, so there's litter everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And they eat chicken and it smells really bad. So we're working on the litter robot stuff. But like robots in general, keeping things clean, love it. What's one of your like have to have cleanliness things?
I don't feel like I have any. Like I don't mind dishes. I don't mind like dirt. I don't really care. I just like don't. It just doesn't bother me. Dirty things don't bother me. The one thing that I think is weird when it comes to cleanliness for me, and like cleanliness might not even be the right word, I refuse to walk on grass barefoot if dogs have been there.
Okay, that's fair.
Like the concept of dogs peeing on grass, and like my friends don't care. Like, because pee seeps into the ground.
Right.
And like, who cares if there's pee on grass? You're walking out on the grass anyway, so it's just cleaning your feet as you're walking around. I cannot.
I can understand that though.
Like if I walk on grass barefoot, I have to wash my feet in the sink like a freak.
Oh.
Yeah, it's
in
weird.
The sink?
Literally, I will just pick up my whole foot and wash it off in the sink. Otherwise, it just feels like it's on me.
Oh, I can, yeah.
Which is weird because like I can clean up pee any day with my hands.
You wash your hands afterwards. Though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it doesn't bother me the same way.
Oh.
I'll pick up goat poop barehanded. Don't care.
I feel like that's still a bit different.
I guess.
But I will say the one thing that you have helped me be a lot cleaner with is email and file organization.
Interesting. I do love a nice tidy Google Drive.
Yeah. Like when I first came, like, oh my God, it was like expansive. It made sense. It was clean. And I was like, you know what? I got to keep up with the standard. So thank you for helping me with that.
You're welcome. Thank you for making me into a functioning adult.
I'm not taking credit for that anymore.
What is your dirtiest experience with an animal? You ever stuck your arm up a cow butt?
Yeah, that's fine though.
explain to them. You don't just say yeah and shrug that off. Most people don't do that.
Oh, you gotta go in there. You gotta feel if they're pregnant or not, because you can't tell otherwise. And you gotta pop this tendon, ligament or whatever to see if they're pregnant. And you can also use a wand in there to see if they're pregnant in there. That's how you check if they're pregnant. So the only real reason you need to go up there. But that's not the nastiest.
We're talking glove up to your bicep.
Oh, they make you not go in the glove for the first time. Hazing
You went
tradition.
barehanded into a cow butt?
That's a tradition. I got
That
hazed.
can't be sanitary. It's gotta be dangerous for cow, no?
You wash your hands first. Like you got like a sanitizer.
Owie, cow.
You're lubed up.
Still, man.
Probably.
You really got to get in there.
Yeah.
I had a vet one time that did that with a horse butt, and the
with the
horse.
glove?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the horse it was like the first time the horse was pregnant, so it was the first time the horse just had a whole human arm up his butt.
Oh, right.
And he got scared and he kicked.
Ooh.
And so he broke his what is this? Freaking his
Yeah,
the bone in his bicep, and then as he was pulling his arm out, because you can't like yank it out because that's dangerous for the horse. You have to like pull it out slowly.
Yeah.
The horse kicked again, so he broke his arm in 2 places on the way out.
Yikes!
Isn't that crazy?
That's awful.
Anyway, he's probably fine now.
I would say the worst one was a dog got scared when I went to go tried to pick it up for a vet exam. Anal glands.
Anal glands are so gross.
On the face. I had glasses on, and they were like
saved, actually.
Yeah. But it's still on the mouth. So they were like, "Here you go, Connor. Leave the room. You're done for the rest of the day. Just change, go to the back, and just work on sterilization of surgical packs." But
wow.
So I held it in, but as I was cleaning up, I was definitely dry heaving.
Mm-hmm.
And to get that stench out, I scrubbed my face. I didn't have a beard at the time, thank God.
Mm-hmm.
But I just used the surgical scrub and just took off all the skin cells on my face.
Wow.
So
ew.
My face was red for a while.
I've done the typical I've waded through a lot of poop.
Sure.
I've fallen in lots of poop, like horse poop. Birds have pooped on me countless times.
Right.
The huge, nothing crazy.
Yeah.
Beaver ponds are really gross. Beavers poop in ponds, and you gotta wade. I used to wade in there in jean shorts and no shoes, because
Crocs weren't.
Why would you? What are you gonna put boots on, and the boots are gonna get filled with poop water? Ew. So I would wade through beaver ponds. It was just full of poop. That was gross. But that's not even the worst. One of the ones that comes to mind, and I don't even, maybe this isn't even that gross. There was a zoo that I worked at. There was a tiger, and we were doing enrichment for the tiger. And so we got donated, we got donated roadkill a lot.
Sure.
So deer and a bunch of other miscellaneous meats that no one wants. So a lot of organ meats and stuff. And we were doing enrichment for the tiger one day, and enrichment for a tiger is hard. They're big animals, and so we were
big heavy pieces. Yeah.
Yeah. So our goal was to chain meat up from the top of her enclosure, so it's hanging down like a piñata.
Did you hug the meat?
Yeah.
Oh
no.
So
well, and that wasn't the plan, right? Is we chained it all in this ball on the ground, and then we went into her enclosure, not with the tiger in the enclosure. Went to go chain it up to the top, and all the meat just started falling out. And it's really heavy, so we can't afford for it all to fall out and redo it all. So I'm the intern, so I had to go there, and I had to bear hug this chained ball of meat, organ meat and roadkill meat.
It smells horrible.
It smelled so bad, and I'm 5 feet tall.
Right.
It's at my head level, yeah. So I was just holding it like this, turning my head to the side, and it was just in my face. And that's one of the more gross experiences I've had. It doesn't come anywhere close to the smell of vulture vomit, though.
Yeah. No, I've puked when I smelled that. There used to be a vulture that would walk in our office, and he got too excited to puke, and I just would go home and work for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
But with the meat stuff, did you ever get the meat to where it got that sweet smell to it ever so slightly? In Alaska, it got this sweet smell that I attributed to rot.
Yeah.
And I can I can't do steaks and stuff like that now.
Interesting.
I can't.
Huh.
It just smells awful.
All right. Well, those are some of our grossest or dirtiest
that we did get clean after lots and lots of showering.
Right. Should we do our cleanest?
Yeah.
Okay. One of my first ones is sloths.
Okay.
Very clean. Okay. There are 2 groups of sloths. There are 2-toed and 3-toed sloths. What's the difference?
One is minus 1 toe.
Right. 2-toed sloths have 2 claws on their front limbs, and 3-toed sloths have 3 claws on all 4 limbs.
I'm surprised you're saying they're clean.
Because they have algae and stuff?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll get to that. So, first of all, I want to say on behalf of sloths, they were first described in scientific literature in 1749, labeled the lowest form of existence, quote.
Wow.
Which is really messed up.
Dude, they're so judgmental back then.
Yeah, really, really mean. And they're not the lowest form of existence. They're actually really cool and really smart and really clean. Okay?
What is the lowest form of existence?
I don't want to answer that question.
I think a virus. Because
Okay.
it's between existence and not. Like, you can argue either way.
Sure.
And they're bad.
Sloths eat leaves, fruit, and sap. They have a multi-chambered stomach that helps with digesting leaves. Their digestion rate is really slow. Shocker.
Right.
They just like are really slow. Their stomach can be up to 37% of their body mass, which is like a lot.
I feel like we've done sloths before, but I don't remember any of this. I don't think this was said. This is really cool.
I didn't know that. They eat very little food per day because digestion takes so long.
Right.
Here's where the cleanliness comes in. You know about this. They have to poop like once a week-ish, but sometimes they can go weeks without pooping, but like about once a week.
Right.
You guys also might know this. Sloths are like up in trees during the day, up like 100 feet.
Right.
Right? They will not poop from trees.
So stupid.
It makes no sense. They will not poop from the treetops. You will never be pooped on by a sloth. They always come down the tree 100 feet. They will climb down 100 feet. They move so slow. It's a whole event.
Yeah.
It makes them so vulnerable to predators. They'll climb all the way down and poop in a little neat pile at the base of a tree. 100 feet is 20 miles, by the way, in case you needed to know. And then they poop a third of their body weight in one go.
That's so much.
Yeah, because their stomach is such a big part of their body mass. Right. So this is a sloth on the ground crawling around because he just pooped on the ground. No one really knows why they do this. You want to hear a hypothesis, though, or a theory?
Sure. We'd love to.
It's called the moth hypothesis.
The moth?
Okay. Sloth moths.
Okay.
We've talked about these.
Yeah.
They're a group of moths. They're found exclusively in sloth hair. When sloths descend to the forest floor, the moths will crawl off the sloth and they will lay their eggs in sloth poop. So there's this theory that the larvae feed and develop into adult moths and they fly up and they find a sloth, and then the sloth moths help with algae growth, and then the sloths benefit from algae growth because maybe the sloths are licking the algae and they're getting nutrients from the algae because they move really slow.
Right.
They don't think that that's actually why they do it. It's just a theory.
Gotcha.
Researchers have never really documented licking behavior, like on their own skin. This is what sloths look like. The pictures that you see of sloths and like sloth stuffed animals and stuff, they look like they're brown, right? But in the wild, sloths are a whole ecosystem.
It's gotta be for camouflage too.
Yeah. That would help a lot. This sloth looks like Oscar the Grouch. Like they are just covered in algae.
It looks like he's part of the tree.
And bugs and stuff. I think the best theory that they still don't know, for the record, why they won't poop from the treetops, but the best theory that I could find is that it helps with like communication. Because and sometimes they'll come down to the base of the same tree to poop. And so if they like leave a bunch of poop piles and it's a third of their body weight, like that's a smelly
big
location.
Yeah.
And so it may make it easier to find mates that way because otherwise it's going to be hard. It's going to take a long time. And if they accidentally don't cross paths.
Right. Yeah.
Like they're never going to find a mate because they move so slow. But anyway, it's very clean of them to not poop from the treetops and have it spew everywhere.
Right.
And from 100 feet up.
Sometimes in the same spot. Like, it's gotta be pretty easy to take care of them, you know, in human care.
Yeah. Also, fun fact about sloth poop. You know about sloths and avocados?
No.
Apparently, we only have avocados because of giant sloths.
Oh,
yeah, like prehistoric giant sloths. One of the few ancient herbivores that were large enough to swallow avocados whole and poop out their seeds whole. So they were seed dispersers for avocado trees.
Bring them back.
Yeah, and that's why we have avocados today. So next time you eat an avocado, you can thank a sloth.
We should bring them back too with the mammoth.
Yeah.
I'd love that. All right, so I've got bottlenose dolphins.
Okay.
Very clean. And now that I think about it, I was in the research, I'm like, they're slick. They're clean.
I feel like everything that's in the ocean is clean. That's a sweeping statement that I will not stand on, actually. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm thinking because I'm like, they're all in water. Like dolphins, of course, they're clean.
Clean, yeah, clean to our standards.
Okay.
But like a lot of fish, especially slow moving fish, and like sea turtles have barnacles on them that slow them down.
Okay.
They've got parasites that just want to attach into there like crazy.
Gross.
Dolphins, great.
Okay.
I'm particularly talking about bottlenose dolphins. There's like a bunch of other species of dolphins, but they're found pretty much everywhere in the ocean. We have a little map here. Yeah, pretty much everywhere. Really cool. We just saw a bunch of dolphins. It was really cool. This is a quick side note. Johnny, you can put in a little clip of the dolphins jumping next to the space landing of the space crew in the water. They land in the water,
really?
And the dolphins started like jumping and swimming around them.
Oh, how cool!
It was so cool. So they prefer water temperatures between 50 and 90 degrees Fahrenheit or 10 and 32 degrees Celsius. They'll inhabit some waters that are brackish, and sometimes like river mouths and stuff like that too.
Mm-hmm.
They weigh up to 1,400 pounds or 635 kilograms, all freaking muscle.
I would have thought they were like 700 pounds.
No, they could be big.
Whoa.
Yeah. So low end's 330 pounds.
Okay.
So they can be pretty small too.
Okay.
So you're talking like a grand piano weight. I don't know if people actually know how much a grand piano weighs.
I know you keep using that as a metric.
But like that's all
heavy.
Around that 1,400 pound range.
Like a horse.
So like a horse?
Yeah.
Okay.
Big horse.
Big horse? Okay. I'll use that one next time. So they can be up to 13 feet long, which is crazy.
Wow.
Or 4 meters. So that's a little like that's 2.3 miles. So
scary.
Yep. Males are typically larger than females. And we're going to stick on the cool side of dolphins. We're not going to talk about the scary side of dolphins because they do some crazy stuff.
Yeah.
But they like to feed on fish, squid, and crustaceans. Here's a little picture of them eating a squid.
Delicious.
Really cool. They use echolocation to hunt. I'm sure most people know that. Sometimes a lot of times they work in groups to get fish, which is really cool to watch. And that's like a whole nother cooperative, video that we should maybe talk about in the future. There's some cool video ideas that I've got, or some podcast ideas at the end of this section that I'm really interested in. Stay tuned. It is military. So they're predators, sharks, especially tiger sharks, bull sharks, and great white sharks. Orcas or killer whales will sometimes occasionally prey on them. And then their populations are stable.
Mm-hmm.
They're least concerned, but they are often caught in bycatch, whether that's from trawl fishing or putting out gill nets, stuff like that. And if they get caught in a net, they can't come up to the surface to breathe because, again, they are mammals. They need to breathe out of that blowhole. They need oxygen, and then they drown, which really sucks. Pollution is becoming a bigger deal for them. They're doing okay on climate change, but that is another factor with the food source. And weirdly enough, they're getting avian influenza. Crazy.
That's so scary.
Yep. So manatees are also getting avian influenza.
I didn't know that.
Highly pathogenic avian influenza or bird flu. Which is really, really scary. So nothing's safe. Their lifespan, 40 to 60 years in the wild, which is a long time. Their gestation is a year. And the calves are born tail first to prevent drowning, which is really interesting. So they can stay like connected the whole time until they're fully free. And mothers nurse their young up for 2 years. So there's kind of a quick little understanding of bottlenose dolphins. A quick aside to how intelligent they are until I get into how clean they are.
Mm-hmm.
They're one of the most intelligent marine and most studied marine mammals, capable of problem solving very well and using tools. And they'll use tools to clean themselves too.
Oh.
They can recognize themselves in a mirror.
Yeah.
Which is a rare trait amongst animals in general. And they know that it is them. So they are self-aware. They're so self-aware that in studies, where generally most animals are given a yes and a no. If you're doing like a test study for dolphins, they give them a third option of I don't know. And they give them a really hard question after a while in the studies. And most animals would shut down with a really hard question. They wouldn't do anything. They wouldn't say yes. They wouldn't say no. They would just shut down.
Sure.
Dolphins are so self-aware of what they do and don't know that they would hit that I don't know button every time that it was difficult. They would never shut down.
Yeah.
Which is really interesting that they're that aware.
Yeah, that's cool.
So they're aware enough to keep themselves clean. So they can swim at 22 miles per hour or 35 kilometers per hour, which helps like keep like parasites off of them and stuff like that. But what really does it is dolphins, why they were originally studied was for their aerodynamics, hydrodynamics.
Okay.
For the military. It's kind of funny. And they found out that dolphins shed their skin every 2 hours. Shed their skin completely every 2 hours. It's 9 times faster than humans. By the way, humans shed 9 pounds of skin a year, which is crazy.
Ew.
Yep. So it takes us like 28 days to get like our full shed.
What?
Yeah, like the full new skin.
Every month we shed our skin?
Yeah.
Entirely?
Like, not like on one go, but like little patches, like everything has been renewed after 28 days.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That is crazy. Ew.
So, yeah, dolphins are doing this like in 2 hours.
Ew.
So, what it does is it helps reduce or get rid of algae, parasite, bacteria buildup, which can cause drag while they swim.
Okay.
And they need to be aerodynamic, super aerodynamic.
No barnacles on dolphins.
Hydrodynamic. Sorry.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, that shedding that skin keeps them very clean.
Huh.
Their skin is also 15 to 20 times thicker than that of humans,
Yeah.
which is interesting. They have, what also helps keep them clean is they have very few hairs on their body. By the time they get, like when they're first birthed, they come out with like a few hairs on their like nose, stuff like that.
Didn't know that.
But as they get older, it goes away. All mammals technically have hairs.
Huh.
So yeah, they have it at the beginning of the stage of life, and then they lose it.
Baby dolphin hair.
That'd be cute. I actually didn't think to look that up. You can see it.
Can't really see.
Yeah. So yeah, having less hair makes it easier to keep things clean. They have no sweat glands, obviously. Do you find pictures of it?
Yeah, I don't like it.
No.
Ew. They're called whiskers.
Whiskers? Oh, I don't like that either.
I don't like it.
Send it to the producers to bring up on the screen.
It's like 10.
Ew.
Or something.
Well, they lose it, thankfully. So dolphins are always moving, and they move very fast, which makes it really hard for parasites and algae to also stay on them. But they're also so smart. They'll use tools. They'll they'll rub on each other to help clean themselves. Like I would anthropomorphize it and say like, "Hey, I've got an itch.
You sure?
Can you scratch my back real quick and like let me rub up against you?"
Yeah.
So that helps keep them clean. They'll use tools, and then they'll also know where the fish car washes are at. You know what a fish car wash is?
When you stop and fish come and eat stuff off of you?
Yeah. So
I'm not trying to do live research right now, but this says dolphins detect electrical fields with X whisker pits from National Geographic.
Oh, that's cool.
That's so cool.
Like
their whiskers shut out and there's like little tiny holes.
Yeah.
And they can help that can help them with electrical fields. It's so sick. Okay,
nice.
Sorry. Fish car wash. Yes. That when you stop and all the fish come over and they clean you up.
Yep. So dolphins know exactly where to go.
Cool.
We're oftentimes seen like when they
That's
they
cute.
feel a little nasty, they go get a car wash.
I like that.
So that's all cool. That's clean.
Okay.
But what I got into a deep rabbit hole on is what they're really doing to keep our oceans clean.
Okay.
They're cleaning up those bombs.
Yeah.
So they're keeping the oceans clean. So there are, I think there's 5 Marine Navy teams, a mixture of sea lions and dolphins, and then other things that they won't tell us.
Okay.
AKA beluga
Mermaids.
whales, probably.
Oh, sorry.
Russia is doing beluga whales, actually. So where did this all start? Why are we doing this? Why are we exploiting animals like this? So it started back in the 40s and 50s. Nuclear subtech blew up.
Okay.
So they're finding ways to like, how can we make it more energy efficient? How can we do it faster? How can our torpedoes be more accurate to blow up more things?
Okay.
So we're like, hey, we're smart. We're going to look at nature. We're going to biomimic. So that's when they started studying dolphins, because they're like, they're so aerodynamic or hydrodynamic. I keep getting that messed up. Hydrodynamic. Let's take what they are doing and mimic it to torpedoes. And then they're like, wait, they're super smart.
Mm-hmm.
One got out in the open ocean and came back. Oh, can we start training them to do things?
Yeah.
So that's when they started really getting into that. So sonar for ships and stuff like that, it's really good in like deep ocean water.
Okay.
But where it's not good is shallow water.
Okay.
And murky water, and you can hide bombs under. That's like the best place to put them. And then you can hide them under sand and silts, stuff like that as well. And sonar can't detect that. It can only detect big objects.
Mm-hmm.
So like, instead of just having human divers go through in like murky waters that they're not gonna be able to see,
Right.
let's send dolphins because they got echolocation. So they started getting it figured out, and specifically in the Vietnam War, they were using them quite a bit to find these bombs. And what would happen, how it works, is the dolphin would be brought to the location on like a mat, like a wet mat, like on a boat, put into the water, and then given a bunch of trees, like, yeah, it's time for you to go do your thing. A command is given, and they go down and start searching for metallic objects or things that they've been trained to look for bombs. They're looking for things that just aren't natural, and they're trained to think like that, which is crazy.
Okay.
So they echolocate this piece of metal that they think is a bomb. They're like, okay, cool. They're going to come to the surface, say, hey, I found it. Like they come out of the water, like, hey, I found it. And they're like, all right, here you go. Here's a buoy. Here's a nowadays they use echo tags, so a sound tag, or they put like a flag on it, and the dolphins would swim down, place where the bomb or the metal object is with these tags, and then they would come back up, get a reward, and then divers would come in, find these tags, and then take out the bomb and remove the bomb. Pretty cool.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So the most recent mission that was publicized is technically it was a combat mission in the Kors harbor in Iraq in 2003.
Mm-hmm.
So the U.S. was trying to bring in ships to deliver a bunch of humanitarian aid, but this harbor had a bunch of bombs in it. So they brought 2 dolphins down there.
Mm-hmm.
It was super murky. Divers like, we can't do anything like this. We need the dolphins.
Uh-huh.
And they disabled like over like 24 bombs.
Whoa. That's crazy.
It worked. They brought in the ships and the humanitarian aid got delivered. So.
Oh my God.
Pretty cool. Yay, happy story.
They also have trained. I had a family member that was training dolphins for the Navy to tag enemy divers.
Oh, I'm about to get into that.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
Oh, okay, this is a rabbit hole. So the government will tell you, it's not a conspiracy.
Okay.
What the government will tell you is they are trained to look out for divers coming into boats and other things. And at the most, they may put tag
a bomb on him. I'm kidding.
Like clamps on their leg to hold them in place.
Right.
And then alert their trainer, and they come and get the divers out. So that, or like put an echo tag on them or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's all they're saying that they will confirm.
Okay.
The unconfirmed rumor mills, which is where I have a deep dive in, which it seemed decently accurate. Don't quote me on this though. It started back in Vietnam when Viet Cong divers were coming in. Apparently they trained dolphins to have a harness on their nose with a needle on it, and like a whole harness kit. We got a picture of what it's supposed to look like, and yeah, they were called counter divers, and they would go up and ram the diver, and they would inject CO2 into the diver and kill them. So that is still said to be happening today. Much better tech than it was in Vietnam.
Conspiracying.
There's no confirmation or denial, but there's so much they're doing with marine mammals, both Russia, or what they're said to be doing with marine mammals. A beluga whale, like just ran off, like swam off, and was believed to be Russian, and it was like found in like Sweden or Norway. I can't remember what coastline. But yeah, it like had a Russian tag on it, and they cut it off, and Russia was like, "That's not ours." But it was like a highly trained, happy beluga just hanging out in the harbor, just love people, could scratch it, love on it, and it just defected. So,
wow.
Anyway, that was a whole thing. But bottlenose dolphins are keeping our oceans much cleaner, at least on the bomb side of things. We won't talk about the human bodies that they might be piling up.
Okay. There you guys have it.
I would like to do a most exploited, like this
that
kind
would
of
be
thing.
Interesting. Yeah.
Granted, it's going to be a lot of rumors.
Yeah.
What do you have for us next? Quiz
time.
What's the score on quiz? Am I beating Maya for once in my life? Suck it.
Wow.
First time for everything. I think we did say first to 10, something happens to the other person. But I don't remember what that was. So we'll renegotiate.
I'm ready. Steal.
You buzzing fast.
10-10, baby. Tied up. All right. My animal, cleanest. Might surprise you. Pigs.
I saw you put that in there.
People think pigs are dirty because they like to roll around in mud to cool off and keep bugs off of them because they're geniuses. Okay. You can do that in a clean way.
Okay. Fair. Vultures.
Have like a fork and a knife or something. I like pigs. I've always liked pigs. Evidence to show that I like pigs right here, or show that I've always liked pigs. I've always been a pig fan.
Oh, baby Maya.
That's me with her name was Bella.
Oh,
it's a baby pig. She was sick. She slept in my bed with me. She used a litter box.
Did she squeal when you picked her up?
Not when she was a baby, but when they get older.
Yeah.
They squeal. She peed in a litter box. She pooped in a litter box. It was awesome. Adult pigs will designate a latrine, like they'll go in one area.
That's cool.
Which is sick.
Yeah.
Because they like being clean. There's a study done at University College London and Basel Zoo in Switzerland after a zoo employee spotted boar bringing dirty apple chunks to a stream and like sloshing them around before eating them.
Wow.
So the zookeeper was like, what's going on there? So researchers came in, they provided pigs with a pile of cut up apples, some clean and some covered in sand. Guess what the pigs did?
Definitely did not eat the sand.
They took the sandy ones to the creek.
Oh.
They put them in shallow water. They pushed them around with their snouts up to 30 seconds at a time.
Wow.
And then when they were all free of sand, they would eat them.
Cute.
Interesting. Okay, so this behavior was not 100% replicated in other circumstances. Like if they did it in the morning when the pigs hadn't eaten yet, some of them were like, screw it. Like,
right, hungry.
I'm hungry. I'm eating this sand. But the pigs never took clean apples to the creek to wash them.
Okay.
In the settings where they hadn't eaten. Like they knew that there were sandy ones and they wanted to get the sand off, which is interesting. Delayed gratification like that is a very sophisticated skill.
That's true.
To have.
Pigs are intelligent.
Yeah, there's an ecologist at a wild pig specialist group that called it a luxury behavior, though, and said that it's not something that they would do in the wild.
Right.
Like they see it done in captivity, but not in the wild. I'm gonna keep this one short because Connor's got another one to go. But overall, pigs get a bad rep. They're not that dirty. They like being clean, but they are killers. Look at this, audio listeners, you're gonna miss out. Look at this.
She's walking up to the camera, holding it to the camera, and now we see.
You see that?
A scar. It's a pretty big scar. What's the size?
Inch.
An inch scar from a pig. Tell us what happened.
I was transporting a pig in the car, and I had her sitting in the back seat, not crated. Oh. And she tried to jump in the front seat, and I said, no, don't jump in the front seat. And she said, ah! And she bit me.
That bleed a lot?
And I'm forever scarred. Yeah, it was actually pretty deep when she did it.
Yeah.
But it wasn't, no stitches. But that's my pig scar. But they're clean. Deadly, but clean.
Nice. Well, I've got one. Ox-peckers. Familiar?
The birds that clean off oxes.
Yeah, well,
It's a good
like
name for them.
ungulates and stuff like that.
Sure.
Yeah. So they're native to sub-Saharan Africa. Found savannas, grasslands, and open woodlands. Live on large mammals like buffalo,
They're
rhinos,
cute.
giraffes, and zebras. They are.
It looks like a normal sparrow if you gave it bright red eyes and a candy corn for a nose. Like their eyes and beaks are ridiculous looking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So they weigh about the size of a golf ball. It's like 65 grams. They're not very large. I mean, they're like, 15-inch wingspans, 38-centimeter wingspans. So nothing crazy. So the predators are really like birds of prey, like hawks and eagles. Snakes may target nests in the area. Nests are at risk to like small mammals. They live in the wild to be like 10 to 15 years old, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
So why they're clean is they are known as nature's pest control from removing parasites from large animals. So they feed on, we have a picture here, but they feed on ticks, fleas, and other parasites found on large mammals. They can eat up to 300 ticks a day.
Dang.
And over 1,000 larvae a day.
Wow.
Yep.
It's crazy. Bugs have it so hard. I'll say it.
They do. Yeah.
That's crazy.
So they'll occasionally eat earwax and dead skin as well.
That's nice. Very clean.
Yeah. Look at that. Just getting all up in that ear there.
That's like a nightmare, though. I'm sorry. I love birds, but like if I had birds all up in my ears.
Have you never had like a parrot like gently like?
I don't like that.
Clean your face.
I don't like when parrots do that.
Oh,
freaks me out.
Feels nice.
I don't trust them like that.
Mia gets up in my ear sometimes.
Yeah, I would not let her do that to me.
Well, she doesn't like women, so.
Yeah, no.
African gray, like she'll clean it up a little bit. She'll pull out my beard hairs too. I don't like that. I don't need that cleaned. So, yay, they're cleaning parasites off of animals, and they're doing a good job. And we can skip over the other stuff and make it purely. They're just being purely altruistic and opportunistic. Is that okay?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, they might be a little parasitic too, but they do it in a clean way. So,
do they drink blood?
Yeah. So they like where ticks have
greedy little poopy butts.
So where ticks have been, you've got like a little open hole there. They'll open it up a little bit sometimes, or if they have, picture.
It's a picture of one on like what is that, like a water buffalo or something? I don't know. That is an open wound that they're. Oh, ow! That would hurt so bad.
Well,
it's like a gaping wound.
They're not like destroying it. They're slowly picking away at it. So there's a few theories. One, it's that they're just trying to be nice. They're trying to remove the maggots. They're getting the maggots out of there. They're cleaning it, getting the dead flesh away. They're getting the scab because they're eating this. And so this is helpful, but then they take it too far. They keep it open for too long. There are a few added at a time, pulling away good flesh and keeping it open for long periods of time. So they are helping at first, but then they just go too far. But yeah, they'll drink the blood, eat a little bit of the flesh, stuff like that. Easy protein. So yeah.
Wow, so clean.
So clean.
Good choice.
Elephants don't like them. Elephants keep them off.
I wouldn't either.
So they also, which is really cool, make a distinct hissing or chattering call to warn animals of approaching danger.
That's nice.
They're like eyes at the back of the head of like giraffes and rhinos. Rhinos rely on them a lot.
Rhinos at least have really tough skin. I bet they don't do that so much to rhinos. As like, okay.
Yeah, there's been like some I've seen. I didn't want to pull up these nasty pictures, but there's like caverns that have been made inside of animals and like on the backs of the tails of like rhinos and stuff like that. That they nest in. But it's like fully healed. Like it's healed.
That's so
but it's
gross.
like skinned out. Like what? Yeah. So it's very clean, and they have an alert system on their butt because rhinos have really bad eyesight, really bad. So they rely on these birds to alert them. In the native African tongue, like it translates to English, those birds' names are like rhino guards is what they call them.
That's cute.
So they're like, it's a symbiotic relationship there.
I guess.
It might be worth it. But yeah, I mean, they're keeping themselves clean. They're keeping the animals clean, helping them out from getting eaten. They're pretty cool.
All
Pretty
right,
clean.
shout out those birds. Next time you have a scab, be grateful that you're not a rhino.
Yeah.
Ugh. Okay. Well, everybody, that is our episode on World's Cleanest. Thank you guys for your suggestions. As always, they're excellent. We appreciate them. And we will see you guys on the next episode. We're gonna go film our Patreon episode right now. So if you want more World's Wildest, you can catch us over on Patreon.
See you soon.
See you on the next one.
Goodbye.
Bye.